Taxi and livery operators met with Minister for Communication and Works, Mark Vanterpool, in a second meeting on Tuesday, March 20th, to hear about the policy changes and other steps being taken by government following concerns that were raised during the last meeting in January. The minister also revealed that cruise ships' calls are expected to be reduced during the upcoming cruise season. Walter Barrett has this report.
There was a good turnout to the forum on Tuesday night, during which time the taxi and livery operators voiced some of their concerns in the industry, while Minister for Communication and Works, Honorable Mark Vanterpool, revealed plans to rectify some of the concerns previously expressed by the drivers, some of which have already gone into action. During the forum, the drivers spoke about some of the areas they wish to see improvements in, such as the territory's beaches, its bathroom facilities, and more order at the piers.
We have boaters and we have land-based tourists. The land-based tourists feels like as if there's no place for them to enjoy the ambience of the beach or swim, because the boaters then come in and totally ignore the fact that there are people in the water, and they anchor their boat from sea to shore to facilitate their guests getting off the boat. And then they leave the boats there. So you have young kids that are trying to swim in between boats. You have boats leaving, they spilling fuel in the water, they're destroying the beachfront. It's also creating a situation where sometimes you got people snorkeling around the area, and you might not see those boats might not see those people, and somebody could easily get hurt. So the same method that we employed in King Garden Bay, if you can talk to the people who are responsible for trying to put on buoys and have a dedicated area for people to swim, and the boaters stay on the outside of that, I think it would help.
The other day, a couple of weeks ago, a former PS were at Rotong Ferry, and two taxi drivers start fighting. I'm talking about martial talk. Now, guests coming through the door. Martial talk, they put their hand in each other's face. And somebody had to call the police, and the police show up. As the police show up, the argument stopped. And the former PS said to me, "Why this goes on all the time?" I said, "Tired talk, my Billy, help me. This goes on every day in front of the port of entry. Mr. Minister, do not put us dispatcher there unless you put some pole in your hand."
Brandywine Bay Beach need to be a sports recreational beach so we can extend some of the other areas out there. I would like to see a cover wall if we want to bring people looking more recreation. So we need to help spearhead area like that. We can open vendors, we can open restaurants. For those tourists can go even when the ship is gone, people can go there even in the evening or the night to enjoy a nice environment.
Addressing the gathering, Minister Vanterpool said that he had taken previous concerns raised by the taxi drivers and livery operators into consideration, and this was made evident on Tuesday as he spoke to the issue of license plates, going back to a call that was made by taxi drivers for a second license plate to be made available to them. According to the minister, this issue is now fixed, and Cabinet has been informed to issue a second plate to current taxi license holders.
As Minister, I have exercised my decision-making authority after informing the Cabinet and getting their full support to have a second plate issued to all current taxi holders. And I will let you know that the Department of Motor Vehicles has been informed and instructed, and they are ready to facilitate this process to issue to all of you a second plate beginning 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, March 21st, 2011.
Minister Vanterpool also announced that a committee is being proposed that would further examine the concept of issuing medallions, another matter that has been raised by the taxi drivers in recent times. This medallion could be passed on from one generation to another, allowing that generation to either sell it or continue the taxi operation. Another area that the Works Minister spoke to on Tuesday night was that of taxi uniforms. Earlier this year, several taxi drivers who met with the Works Minister complained about the current uniform, saying that it could have been improved in several ways. Minister Vanterpool proposed the setting up of another committee which would look at a uniform change. But the minister made another announcement on Tuesday night that would not only impact the drivers, but the entire territory, which is heavily dependent upon tourism for its economic prosperity. According to Honorable Vanterpool, several major cruise lines will not be coming to the territory this season. However, he said that plans are in the works to increase the length of the cruise ship pier to accommodate more ships, which will reverse the decline in arrivals in upcoming years.
I very much regret to report that we have seen a drop in cruise tourism over this past year, as you well know. But I'm also regretfully reporting that the 2012-2013 season, which begins later this year, shows that cruise arrivals to the territory will be down from this year. If I give you a snapshot of what is expected to happen, you will know that some of the major cruise lines will be reducing the calls to the territory. Fortunately for us, Carnival is expected to go up by 4 calls, from 11 this year to 15 during the next season. Projections indicate that a major reason for this downturn is that we must extend the cruise ship dock to facilitate the luxury liners that we put a call on destinations such as ours. As I said earlier, we're in major discussions with all of the lines and hope that we'll be able to improve our numbers for the next season.
The minister also touched on other issues raised by the drivers in the past, such as making the territory's sidewalks safer and accessible by those who are physically challenged. Such concerns, he said, will require further meetings with other agencies before they can be effectively addressed. The minister also said he plans to visit the sister islands in the near future, as the issues they face will be unique to their size and location, but he assured that their issues will be addressed. This is Walter Barrett reporting for JTV News.